Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and I am constantly trying to make a more efficient workspace in the garage I have, and today is no different. Okay, so a lot of you probably already seen my workshop tour, and you can see my messy workbench there with a bunch of stuff on it. I have my vise just here, and in the past I've actually had most of my steel supplies just piled up on the floor below here. I actually cleaned it up the other day and put it my steel stuff in an old milk crate there, but it's still not a great spot, and I really need somewhere to store my steel out of the way. And I was looking all around the workshop trying to work out a good place to put it. And even though I've got quite a large garage, and I feel quite grateful for the fact that I managed to have that, I needed to come up with a better spot. And after looking everywhere, looking high and low, and working out how I can take something that can take weight and better use the space I have, I came across my sort of basic super cheap sandblasting cabinet, and that's a parts washing bin. I realised that I don't really use the space underneath, and I thought that would be a perfect spot to build a steel rack. So that is my plan today, is to rearrange this whole area and build out a nice steel rack that I can sit under there that will tidy up the garage and just make it that little bit more efficient. And how good does Harry's engine bay look? I can't get over it. No, stop, distracted. Back to the steel rack. So I did a lot of thinking about the design of my steel rack, and I wanted it to be a very simple, as light as I could. I didn't want to build something that was monstrously over-engineered. This should be more than enough for what I want to do. And basically all I'm doing is I've got a bunch of this, it's 25mm by 3mm angle iron, and that's going to be basically welded into a simple big rectangular box that will be able to mount my blasting cabinet and my parts washer bay tub on top of it. And as the framework for the racking is, I just got this this steel mesh from the local steel supply, which is going to be more than heavy duty enough to hold my my steel, and it gives me all these little pockets that I can sort of separate out the different types of steels and places to line everything up. So I'm going to now start sort of cutting up and forming up my box, and that will be the first part of my steel rack. Alright, so you saw I cut out all my pieces, and I've laid them down in a basic box section. This is going to be the base of my steel rack. Now, I'm not too concerned. I could miter all the edges so that they all sit at the perfectly same level and all sorts of stuff. I don't care about that. I just want it as quick and simple as I can do, so I'm just overlapping all the pieces and I'm just going to MIG it all up. Going to keep it simple. That's my plan. So I'm going to build a basic frame for the bottom, build a basic frame for the top, and then put up 4 legs and put the top joined by the legs onto the bottom. Really simple. So let's start MIGing this up. Alright, there it is. Very simple frame. That is going to be my bench top, and also that's my steel rack. So that's the basic frame of it, and now I'm going to go and get some of this wire mesh. I'm going to cut them out and weld them in sections so that I can have longer and shorter pieces of steel in here. So I'll go through, I'll cut them out now, and then I'll sort of talk through my ideas about the layout of this. here is my very simple metal rack. So as you can see, I've made different spacings for my sort of framework using this steel mesh, mostly because at the front here, this is only 300 mil, so I can keep shorter lengths on the rack still, and then they sort of get gradually longer, so you don't need as much support over the entire length, but you know, I wouldn't need supports every 300 all the way along, because the long one will easily just sit between the two. Just gives me some adjustability there for some different lengths of stock. So let's start installing it. Well, I am very happy with that. I've been wanting a metal rack for quite some time, and I finally have something that does the job. It's got my steel nice and easy to get to. I've got steel sections, I've got aluminium sections, everything set up, ready to go, so I can call that done and get back to my regular programming. I hope you guys like some little ones that I'm throwing in here. Let me know in the description. All right, I'll see you next time. See you guys.